Hi there, this is Tom from WageFreedom.com. This is day 5 of what was the live video challenge, but now is just the video challenge. I'm answering questions that I get often from Wage Freedom readers, and I realize that with these longer form answers I'm giving, that maybe it'd be more appropriate to do not live but recorded. Not that it really matters, but I'd rather be more thorough, and this is maybe a better way to do it. I'm standing in front of one of the million small temples that exist here in Bali. This is not some kitschy monument to tourism or something. This is a real Balinese temple where Balinese do come to do their puja every single day. And if you've been here before, you know that they're about every 20 feet, but this one's again on the grounds of Jayakarta here in Legian, near the beach. A little bit sick today. Let's see if I can get through this. Today's topic is a follow-up to yesterday, which was basically is it possible to live on, let's say, $1,000 US a month in Bali? And I ran you through in about 14 minutes why it is possible, and I just wanted to follow up and add a little bit to 3 areas that I did cover yesterday, okay? In no particular order here, just to give you a more thorough idea of what I meant. I could talk for a long time on how exactly to live cheaply in Bali, or really at any price level, but I just thought it was worth doing a follow-up to be a little clearer and a little more detailed about what I said yesterday. Transportation, food, and accommodations. Okay, so first of all, briefly, I mentioned that you can live in a cost, the cheapest form of accommodations, and a nicer cost might cost you 3.5 million rupiah per month, something like that. But if you could go a little higher, to say 5 or 6 million a month, roughly, you could get yourself quite a livable apartment in a decent location. Okay, and I pointed out that what you want to do, if you go that route, is offer the 6 months worth of rent up front, because that should definitely lock you in a good discount. Okay, everything's negotiable here anyway, so you want to go in with the attitude that you're going to negotiate, and that 6 months or a year is cash up front is going to be probably the most powerful tool that you have. Okay, if you're trying to get a place as cheaply as you can. Okay, so do negotiate. Come with a little chunk of money to pay up front once you find a place that you like, and that's a good way to lock in a decent place for 5 or 6 million. I've got a bunch of per month, and I've got a bunch of friends who are doing that. Okay, I would suggest also stay in it's negotiable, so tell the landlord you need to stay there for a night or 2, just to find out that well, specifically, to be honest with you, there aren't roosters outside, or cockerels, depending on where you're from in the world, outside your window at 5 o'clock in the morning or at various times of the day, because that will completely blow your experience of a room. Okay, it may sound like a joke or not that big of a deal, but if you've got roosters, and a lot of Balinese do keep them, you want to make sure they're not too close to where you're living, because that'll make all the damn difference. There should be no reason why a landlord wouldn't let you stay for at least one night, okay, in a place that you're thinking about renting for 6 months or a year. I wouldn't put cash down until I stayed for one night. I just make it part of the terms of staying there. Okay. So that's accommodations. Transportation, I just wanted to add a little bit, because I know from reader feedback that a lot of folks are not comfortable on a motorcycle, and I get that. So what options do you have, right? Buying a car is really overkill here. because the traffic has gotten worse and it's way slower to try to get around with a car versus a motorbike. So you're probably going to be on a motorbike, okay? Now, whether it's you doing the driving, renting for approximately 500,000 rupiah a month, like I said yesterday, or it's, now you do have a different option where you don't have to do the driving. Now, we always had ojeks, which are motorcycle taxis. Sometimes, especially in the tourist areas, they would get rather expensive because it was never posted prices. It was always negotiations, and most tourists don't know what a fair price is. Hey, I wouldn't in other parts of the world either. So, but basically, to overpay for these motorcycle taxis, these ojeks, was the order of the day. Now we have Gojek and Grab. They are two apps that you'll want to install if you come. And the beauty of those is that, well, they actually work, a little like Uber or something, and they both, I think, have car options. Certainly Grab has car options, but for motorcycle taxi options, they're comparable. There's not much difference between the two. They are extremely inexpensive, okay? A couple kilometers might be 4,000 rupiah, literally, okay? I took one actually this morning that was probably 4 or 5 kilometers, and that was 10,000 rupiah, which is 75 US cents, okay, or 1 Aussie dollar, okay, less than €1. So Grab and Gojek, and you can install them back home and just take a look. It's all in English. You can just get, it's a very, very cheap way of getting driven around. You could do that every single day, and that wouldn't add, it likely would be even cheaper than if you were renting your own bike, or you could if you want. It's just super cheap. So I hope that's clear. As another option. Now, one more thing. If you're just the type of person where, and I know these people, there's no way you're getting on a bike, a motorcycle. I get it. Okay, so do you have any options in Bali? Yeah, you do. This plays into where you're going to be staying, okay? And if you're staying in a central area, now, whether it's, down here in the tourist areas, Seminyak, Legian, even Kuta, although most expats aren't living in Kuta, you can definitely, be in an area where you could actually just walk around, okay? And Ubud if you're in central Ubud, you don't necessarily need a bike if you really don't want to get one. You could avoid getting a bike, and you could just use Grab, Grab or Gojek when you need one, okay? When you need a bike, which may only be every few days. I have friends who are doing that, and that's fine. FYI, I've spent years on bikes here in Asia. I don't even have a motorcycle right now, and that's because I'm central. So it's quite doable to not have a motorbike and do mostly walk around. And when you want either a car taxi or a motorbike taxi, it's just on your phone, and it's really fast. The point too with these apps, the beauty of them is that you know exactly what you're paying. There's no negotiations. It's all figured out before you ever hit. Have the guy come to you. Okay, does that make sense? So it's just, there's no nonsense negotiation and no yelling. It's always good. So one more thing, and it's getting a little. I'm up to almost 9 minutes now, and didn't think it'd go this long, but that's okay. So I augmented my transportation and accommodations little section, but I've also got my, I want to talk about food, because I mentioned yesterday, sort of really in passing, that a really cheap way to eat in Indonesia and including Bali are Indonesian warungs, which I didn't really define. They're just little, sort of outdoor, small restaurants where you'd sit outdoor, really small, often like run by families, so it's like mom's cooking. These warungs are in Bali. You'll find warungs where the people are from. The proprietors are from all over Indonesia, so you get, Java food, Padang food, from Sumatra, food from Sulawesi, really almost everywhere, and so it's a great selection that you've got, and uh, it's quite easy to eat for less than 20,000 rupiah, less than 15,000 rupiah for a full plate of food. I want to emphasize this is hygienic, and it's it's great. Most of these are the food's brought. My buddy at Warung Melati near me does Adi. He wakes up at 5. He goes to get everything from the market. They make it. It all starts coming out at about 11 a.m. and they're done by about 3. But the point is, it's made fresh every day. So I mean, fresh food, man. And I mean, for that price, you kind of can't beat it. I just wanted to emphasize that if you go that cheaply, you are not at all compromising hygiene. Okay. On the contrary, it's it's a wide variety of food, and it's clean too. And let me say also, if maybe you don't want to have necessarily 2 or 3 meals a day of Indonesian food, even in the tourist areas, it's possible to have a plate of Western food, spaghetti or your hamburger or whatever, for anywhere from roughly, let's say 40,000 rupiah up to 60 or 70,000 roughly. Okay, so that's I mean, 50,000 rupiah right now is $3.75 US. Okay, $5 Aussies, and less than €5. So you get the idea. So that's again, that's Western food, more expensive than usually than a warung, but by no means has to blow the budget. So that idea of eating for $10 a day or less, as an idea, not hard to do at all. One other little idea is that I don't know what it is, but a lot of folks that I talk to who are here have a similar experience as I have had. I tend to only eat a couple meals a day here and do maybe a little snacking or whatever. I don't know if it's probably the heat, but a lot of folks just find that they don't eat as much as they do back home, and so it's not if you're doing the math as to how much your food expenses will be, it's not necessarily 3 meals a day. I'm just throwing it out there. Maybe it will be for you, but yeah, maybe it won't. I hope that helps, and please, as always, leave questions, comments for me, and if you have any questions, I'll try to help you out. Very much appreciate likes, thumbs up, shares, subscribe to my YouTube channel. You know the drill, and yeah, I've got a topic for you tomorrow, and that'll be day 6. And I thank you very, very much for watching. This is Tom from Wage Freedom signing out.